Today, we can talk about the gold mine that you have and how to extract the value out of it. The problem is that while you have a gold mine and you have valuable data, and I'll be more specific on exactly what I mean by data in a second here, it just takes a lot of work. Why aren't people doing, Chris, what you're about to share with me? If it's so valuable and so easy and so accessible, then how come they're not leveraging it? And the answer is imagine this was your gold mine. You still need to get the cart. You still got to drive down the path or wheel the barrel down the path. And you still got to go into the mine and get the gold. Yay. This is how we're going to spend the first half of every day in the hot sun doing the thing. And we wonder, why doesn't everyone do this? Well, that's exactly why. However, it doesn't, for those willing to do it, the value is there. And that makes it's kind of nice, actually. So if we really want to win, we can, because there's kind of this barrier to entry that weeds out, we'll say, the faint of heart, or maybe the less determined. Okay, so once you get down there, obviously there's still more work to be done. You've got to have the right tools and find the gold and refine the gold. It's just a whole process, even just in mining, that alone, having the gold mine itself. Why am I talking about this analogy? Why are we going so deep into this? Because literally, look at the dude in the bottom left. He's got a suit, change your clothes for this. It's hard work. And we want to make that all easier. So your gold mine is your network. It's your LinkedIn connections. It's your LinkedIn followers. It's your Facebook followers. It's your Facebook friends. It's your Instagram followers. That is your network. We talk a lot about outbound. We do to also talk about inbound. Today, we're talking about nurturing your network. And this has come up multiple times this week. And we're like, you know what? We got to go deeper on this because it's assuming doesn't serve anyone well. And we've just assumed that people think this way and do this. But through different support calls, we're like, oh, shoot, people literally aren't doing this. And it's just low hanging fruit. It's their gold mine that they're not mining. Well, obviously, in the second category, for mining, you can see the tools. FlowChat is your tool. You don't have to change your outfit. You don't have to get out the wheelbarrow. It is actually doing that manual labor work for you now with some of the automations that we saw even earlier today. And the result is the desire that we want. We more book calls or more sales or more people attending our workshop or more people going to our site or using our lead magnet or completing our survey. Any of these different outcomes, desired outcome is the result. So I've prepared a couple examples for you. Would you guys like to see these examples? Cool. This would be mining the gold mine on a LinkedIn example, and we'll do a Facebook one as well. Connections and followers engagement campaign. So we're simply just reaching out to our network and we're warming them up a little bit. And I have some copy you can take a screenshot of in just a little bit as an example. First, we look at our connections and our followers. If you literally just go to your profile and you click these right here, it'll bring you to the next page. You can import first, second, and third. Here's where tags come in. You can click first, import all these, tag them as your first level connections. You can hit second, import all of them, tag them as your second level connections, just to give a shout out to tags, and start re-engaging them. If you click the followers link, it'll take you here to your followers, and you can import data right from here. With FlowChat, when you're in these environments, and now just a click, you can gather all of this data. You can mine all of this data very easily, as you that have been with us know. Now, once we do that, how do we engage with them? Well, here's a couple suggestions that, in fact, it might be easier for you guys. Screenshot is totally still on the table. You can screenshot this. Let's see, since you guys are here, I can just throw this in the chat for you. It's like formatted wonky. Here we go. And bam. There you go. So you guys can access that copy and modify it to your liking. But if you want to reach out to, again, these are your first connections. These are people that you haven't talked to for a little bit. And some you might know more than others, but approaching them in a reasonable way will get generally a good response. So you and I have been connected for a while, first name. I'm always looking for ways to serve my network. I'm looking for agency owners, or I help agency owners do X. What is a good referral for you? And company name these days. So what is a good referral for you in FlowChat these days? Be that natural, right? You're putting it out there of what you're actually looking for so they know how to help you. And there's going to be some of them that respond and be like, oh my gosh, I was just talking to Kevin. I was just talking to Sarah. and she needed this exact thing, and they respond to you. The next one is what we've covered. We did a whole training on this called the indirect ask. Say, thanks for staying connected here on LinkedIn, Kevin. We're on fire right now helping agency owners get their next client in 90 days or less. Looks like you have a pretty deep network. Do you know anyone that would benefit from this service right now? So it's just we're not asking them for business. We're tapping our network, our gold mine, and saying, hey, is there anyone that you would benefit from this? So it's a very simple question. Now, a lot of times that person that we're reaching out to, we've already ran through our auto qualifying criteria. We know they're a qualified candidate. So most of the time they're going to say, oh my gosh, that's me. I'm actually needing that right now. Oh, that's crazy. Who would have guessed? Right. And so we do this also in a post. And hey, who do you know that does blah, blah, blah? And they're like, oh, that's me. That's me. It almost kind of annoys me. Somebody be nice and connect somebody, make a connection. So I don't just think about myself. It's me. All right. Well, you're still here to serve people in general. So obviously we move forward, but it's a good way to get referrals and get a response. The last one is a niche question message. Glad we're connected here on LinkedIn. John, I was looking into your company a bit today. I was curious what an ideal customer is for you. What niche or industry are you guys most focused on right now? So it's very more so focused on them. It's when you're focused on them, you'll have a higher response rate. And then they'll say something about their ideal customer, and you can continue to ask questions and find pain and qualify them for a call. So those are three pretty solid frameworks that we've used not only for FlowChat, but just over the decades of doing sales in general. A quick side note, let's see if I can let me copy, let's copy the image, copy link. I'll drop this in the chat there for you, some more resource. Let me know if that link works. I don't know if that's going to work. Anyway, just to show you what it does. Oh, well, it won't let me. There it is. So this should bring you to linkedin.com/sales/SSI. It's your social selling index. I wouldn't take all this with a grain of salt. It gives you some rankings so you know where you stand. If it's terrible, then that probably affects your content engagement. It could affect how many messages you can send to some degree, but not directly, not always. If that makes sense? It's not directly correlated. There's some correlation, but not causation. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see things broken down by category and see maybe what areas you're strong in or weak in. If you're not familiar with this resource, then just wanted to share it with you. We'll keep flowing here. So there's 3 stages to this. The first one is obviously import into your pipeline. You want to bring them into the leads in area. You're importing them for your first, second, third, or follower pages with LinkedIn. Now, once we put them we import them and they go in the lead in, we have an auto qualifier running, and you can ask questions to if you don't already have this set up during the Q&A, we can go into detail and get yours specifically dialed in. But when that's running, the outcome of it is going to be one of 3 buckets. You're either going to be qualified or not qualified. And there's 2 different buckets for qualification. Not qualified is pretty straightforward. And there's a set of automations that we do. I like changing their status or removing them from the pipeline so that you don't message them going forward. Now, in the event that they're qualified, but you've never talked to them before, there's no convo. And so we're going to have a set of actions, liking their most recent post, sending them an initial message that sounds like we've never talked to each other before. And those automations run in this bucket. The third bucket is continuing the conversation. If we've already been talking and then we reach out to them, hey, nice to meet you. You're like, well, that was weird because we were talking yesterday. Obviously, we want to approach them differently. So we have a set of automations that do just that. Here's roughly what it looks like in the pipeline environment. For the people that are not qualified, an X isn't actually drawn on them in the pipeline, right? But you get the idea. I'm sharing that they're basically removed to the pipeline. Now they stay in the My Leads area. If we go up here and we zoom in, you can see My Leads. That's where it's located within FlowChat. That's like your leads library. It's all of your leads. And why do you want to keep leads? This is actually a good question. Is anyone keeping leads that they've disqualified? Do you delete them or just disqualify them? What I would recommend is just disqualifying them. Well, Chris, I'm not going to talk to them. Exactly. The longer you use your FlowChat account, the more intelligent it gets. In other words, if you have a lead in there that's disqualified, but you go to accidentally import that person again, it won't, because FlowChat doesn't import duplicates. So it'll identify that, nope, you already have that lead and they're disqualified. So you don't have to put your team qualifying the same people over and over. It saves a bunch of time. So your data specifically to your account gets more and more intelligent specifically to what you want, the more and the longer you use it, which is pretty cool. All right. So the next two buckets are this: connection request accepted. These are the people that you're already connected to and you haven't started a conversation. We just hit the run button here, liking their content and sending them a message and moving the relationship forward. In the event that there is a conversation, they would be imported into this stage, and we'd continue the conversation with maybe one of those follow-up messages that we reviewed earlier to nurture the conversation or the relationship. And those would be the three simple buckets. Step 3 is continuing the conversation and the relationship, messaging them, converting that into a Zoom call, workshop, lead magnet, survey, wherever you'd like to send them, your clear next step. I'm going to show just an automation in just a second here, but let's review Facebook. We're going to go through Facebook much faster because it's the same mechanics, except now it's friends and followers, right? So we go here, you can click on your following or followers. It pulls up a page that looks like this. I recommend importing from the friends, recently added, and or followers section specifically. You can click those tabs and then import from those displayed environments within Facebook. They're going again into the imported prospects stage. And then ones that are not qualified are removed from the pipeline. And then we have the qualified that are moving forward through the pipeline. One last different note that I didn't mention yet is this stage number 2, manual qualification needed. Why is this useful? Well, when we're running the qualification automation and it doesn't get enough data to neither qualify or disqualify, it adds them into this stage. That allows us the manual opportunity to go to their profile and see for ourselves, is this person yay or nay? If they're not the right person, we just manually select not qualified. And if they are the right person, we just manually drag them to the qualified stage. And you'll pick up on patterns when you do this. Ooh, the ones that are qualified have these keywords in their profile or their bio. Let's go ahead and add that into the automation criteria so that it starts picking up these people so I don't have to keep doing this manually. You can continue to refine your automated process to your liking to where it's fully auto. So there we go. Third one is obviously continuing to message them on Facebook, just like you would LinkedIn. Let's jump into FlowChat. And actually, I think I have it up over here. And let's watch one of these automations. Hopefully everyone here has seen them, but if someone's just jumping in or joining us, you go to product guide, as you can see me clicking around here, and we go to the automations section, and we'll do a Facebook one here. I'll go ahead and make it full screen, and we can see the pipeline view that we're used to seeing. You can set up the automations in the automation tab, and just by clicking right there, and it'll give you options you can see in the menu there. And then you hit the add action button, adding it to your set of automations. Once those are all added, just to fast forward, you can then save all your change. Wow, it's really long. Save your changes. Then you would go ahead and activate the automation by hitting that big pink red button that we saw at the top of the pipeline stage. And then we'd hit this button right here, run automation. And it pops up a window that looks like this. You can actually see the work and the task being completed. Please note that if you're doing a decent amount of tasks, it might take a little bit, an hour. It could take 10 hours if you've definitely done some longer sets of automation that take all day. Well, Chris, that's so long. Absolutely. We can't, now this is being sped up, just the purposes of training, but we don't want to actually create complete actions that fast. The platform would obviously hate that. It's actually replicating just human speed to replicating it manually doing the process, but you don't have to spend your time doing it. You can just let that run in the background, go to the different tab, go to your email, and go about your day for clarity. So once that's done, it shows you a report. It goes back into your pipeline saying it's completed. You hit reload pipeline and it will update the cards. It'll move them to the next stage and make all the automated changes from the automation that's been completed. That is what I had for you for today in terms of your gold mine. Please leverage the networks that you've worked so hard to build. There's so much, usually for people, there's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per month or per year, just sitting there waiting for you to just go say hi and welcome them back into your world. So please go make some money with that.